Dude, I don't even know this guy's name. I got to get this shit right.
It's Mayhem Miller. Fuck. I'm here all the
Teach
time.
Me Grappling. What's up, guys? If you didn't know, it's Mayhem Miller. So, what's up, Mayhem?
Hey, bud. Hey, man. Thanks for having me at the gym.
Yeah, you got a good workout this morning?
God bless America, yeah.
Yeah.
Some young beasts in here that I'm grappling with. I'm flat-ass tired. I need the massage stick, I think.
Yeah, that's the Jean LaBelle.
Is that what this is?
Yeah,
Because,
check it out. Check it out.
No, I believe you.
Look at look at the front. Look at this. The Jean LaBelle Club Master.
Oh, bud, I got personal beef with Judo Jean LaBelle.
How do you feel about him?
I love him. But, when I was like 19, I think he tried to snap my fucking leg. Showing a technique. If you're going to be the dummy, man, you got to be careful. Judo Jean will snap your leg.
Hey, what's hilarious is you just said when you were 19, he tried to snap your neck.
Yeah, leg.
Leg.
It
Guess
was a mean one.
Guess what happened to me?
I believe it.
I was 18, 19. I go in there. He goes, we were lined up on the wall on a Monday night, and he goes, you come on out, kid. And he goes, go ahead and grab my leg in a single leg. I put my head on the inside. He said, no, not like that. With your head on the outside. I was like, well, that's a high crotch. I come from wrestling. I put my head on the outside. He cross-faced me, spun my head around, and I immediately let go of the single leg because my neck already went click, click, click.
Classic.
And then
Judo
he did
Jean.
that. He did put the shoulder in the back of my neck. My head was sideways. Pop, pop, pop. I tapped about 18 times.
Checks out.
He might have let go after tap number 11. But
you know what, though? I think that Judo Jean was determined always to show everybody he's old school.
Yeah.
He'll fucking crank your neck if
it
you
was
give
a
it to him.
show every time with him.
Yep. Yep.
I find it hilarious, though, that you had basically a similar experience with your leg.
It's all good. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. It gave me drive and motivation to you don't get into fighting if you're just like a casual. If you're serious about it, you don't mind a little cracking the neck and tapping 18 times. Anyway.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about something. I was thinking about Bo Nickal's been in the news a lot.
Bo Nickal, look, I mean, this is the new Great White Hype with the freaking wrestling skills.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This guy's incredible wrestler. Like, some people don't even understand how good. 3-time NCAA champ, but like this guy, there's other guys that have won that many championships, but he did it in style.
Well, I think that he's one of those standout wrestlers. It'll be interesting to see how his career develops because everybody's putting a lot of hype on him, and it's justified. But
usually, when you do that, it's a bad sign.
Usually, if a guy is brought along correctly and takes a step up in a fight like his last fight, the guy that he fought, I mean,
so I got Val Woodburn.
That's his name, Val Woodburn. I don't know his particular skill set exactly. I got to tell you, it's just, to me, it's just a random middleweight. Looked in good shape and looked tough, but those punches came hard, and that comes from his wrestling background. He doesn't throw his punches like a boxer. He throws punches with his whole torque behind him. It'll be interesting to see him against somebody with high-level striking skills.
Yeah.
And somebody...
Because you're not going to land every one of those. He was like 100 for 100, almost.
I'm pretty surprised that they were pretty telegraphed punches a bit, I think that the subtlety, they're so strong that if they get through, they're ending your night. There's no argument about it.
Everybody's afraid of the takedown. So when he was feigning, he was kind of giving the jab. He's feigning I'm going to go.
Funny, yeah. Those jabs
he
were
was
like
pawing
shocking.
It out.
Yeah. It was like,
he
what
wanted
is
that
he doing?
overhand, and then he tried to clinch, and it did not work. But he landed that overhand a little bit.
I think it showed a high level of fight IQ for this early in his fight career, because what he did was he pawed at him. If you notice, he pawed at him and kind of lulled the guy into a sense of security, like, oh, those punches are nothing, those punches are nothing. And then
he hits hard.
He jumps in with this hook.
That
diving.
That lead hook.
Dived in with a lead hook.
I thought it was a jab at first, but then when we watched it again, because I only saw like a really bad footage of the fight, but yeah, nice little skip, kind of little skip hook, but it was so quick. The other guy didn't see it coming.
It's because he set those pawing jabs first to get the guy to go, oh, okay, this guy's just feeling out for a takedown.
Maybe he's just an overhand left. Maybe that's
all
he
came over the top.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a big question mark for me. There's a lot of hype behind him. It'll be interesting to see guys with more of a balanced game. A guy who is not that afraid of getting in a wrestling match with him will be a good challenge for him. Like a guy with maybe not. I mean, there's no one that's going to be a high enough wrestling level to really wrestle with them. But MMA wrestling
it's different.
Is much different.
It's very different.
Much different.
Yeah, if a guy could be at Bo Nickal's level in wrestling, in a sport wrestling match, he could demolish a guy 10 out of 10 takedowns. But once you step into a cage, it's possible that guy that just got demolished 10 out of 10 takedowns, just the striking factor alone could make it where, well, now you're not getting in. Like, look at Bo. He threw that overhand left. They kind of clashed, and then they kind of broke apart. Mm-hmm. He didn't end up in the clinch. He didn't end up with the takedown.
Yeah.
Now, sure, he looked good with the striking, but what happens when he meets
that fight happened so quick that there was it was still a feel out period for both guys.
Yeah.
They were kind of getting each other's range, and man, he gambled and came up big. This right hook. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That was badass.
I don't know. I was watching.
I'm impressed. Don't get me wrong. I'm impressed by this Bo Nickal guy. Obviously, we all are, but it'll be very. He's one to watch. He's very exciting prospect because if you watch,
what's
wrestling.
Funny? You know what's funny is you just called him that Bo Nickal guy.
Yeah.
He's like a newcomer, right? But a lot of people already know who he is.
Obviously, yeah.
And just think about it. Back in the day, do you think people said, dude, I don't know about this Jason Miller guy?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. But then, you climb up and ascend. You make yourself known. And performance like that, I can't call him that Bo Nickal guy anymore.
Yeah. So this guy, I was looking at his record here. He got his first fight he won by KO with punches.
Yeah,
I think that was the one where he dropped that dude.
Big look,
throwing hard shots.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously know that striking changes the game,
Yeah.
And it seems like he's got a natural affinity for punch people in the face. Like the
But
guy really catches people.
You know what I haven't seen him do yet though is I haven't seen him throw kicks.
I mean, look, if you could wrestle that well, kicking is not that big a factor of your game.
But
if you can push if the guy is always worried.
But what about when he meets a guy that's got some really good long range calf kicks and he starts taking out the legs a little bit?
That's why they do the fight, man. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I hope they challenge him on the next fight. Really give him somebody. Maybe not top 10, but top 20, and see how he fares with more well rounded. Like I said, I got to be honest with you and the audience that I didn't do research on his opponent. Didn't know exactly what, but he certainly connected.
Well, he was a debuter, so we wouldn't have known.
That's what
unless
I mean,
we were from the area that he
or you have to do
in.
deep dive.
You gotta
go
really
YouTube searching for his podunk fights in the middle of nowhere, and those fights were probably years ago by now.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's difficult to do research on a guy. It looks like Bo did, and he fucking covered that.
Yeah.
Right? Ooh,
So we just got a TKO, and then the 3 fights before that, he got 3 submissions: rear naked choke, triangle choke, and an arm triangle choke. You remember the triangle choke? We just saw that. He kind of takes the guy down, ends up kind of in the mount with a whizzer.
Yeah.
And then he kind of he's got one arm in,
this is a kind of
out.
a classic I
Most
don't know.
wrestlers wouldn't have rolled over to their back, though. He rolled over to his back to get a triangle.
No, and
that's not very wrestlerish.
That's why we're all excited, because this guy certainly has shown that he's a true mixed martial artist through and through. To call him a wrestler would, be a slur, because he's not just a wrestler.
He's not.
He obviously can punch. Yeah.
And if you're rolling to your back for a triangle, that's not your typical Mark Coleman.
Yeah, but you know what though? But the game has changed so many times, and for him to be this age and this era of YouTube videos, and he's seen a wide variety of techniques that, man, I could have just prayed for back when I was looking at grimy VHS tapes,
Yeah.
And
you
remember those days.
Yeah.
So it was for him to be able to have knockouts on his record already, to have and
Finishes.
if you notice that wrestling base, if you can watch fight after fight where his balance while he's punching is really the deciding factor. Because like we were saying earlier, the game changes from just pure wrestling to MMA, where now there's a variety of setups for your takedowns, and these punches force the guy to be off balance so that, maybe he can take him down, but it seems like he gambles with these haymakers, and he keeps coming up roses,
Teach Me Grappling, what's up, guys? Coach Brian here, and I'm here to tell you about Suplexes. Guys, the best dummies in the world for training. You want to get good at throws like Jesse? You need a Suplexes speed dummy. You got to get one for yourself. Go to petersongrapplers.com and get your own speed dummy. Well, so far he's accurate. You know what? He hasn't even been in the second round.
Buddy,
he's finishing everybody in the first.
Yeah, why would he? Yeah, he's kicking ass, man.
I think he's got like a total time. I heard something like 6 minutes and some change.
Yeah.
In 5 fights. He's only been in the cage for 6.5 minutes. Something
Makes
like that.
sense. He's precision. It's like technical superiority. That really the whole point of mixed martial arts is to get the finish as quick as possible, and he has such a variety this far. I'm on the hype train. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm pumped up just as much as everyone else, but I'm from Missouri, the show me state. I want him to keep showing us. Keep showing us, because he's making us proud from the grappling world and just slugging dudes.
You know what I'm thinking? My thoughts are maybe what makes part of his difference in wrestling is that Penn State style. He's trained with guys like Jason Nolf, these guys from Penn State that are they're not your typical standard formed wrestler that stays in a good stance. They are kind of high flying, funky.
Yeah.
They do risky techniques.
Yeah.
In his NCAA finals, he was getting caught by Miles Martin on his back, and he I don't know if you remember, he went for like a sumigeshi with a chin and an underhook, and it actually failed, and then he kind of checked to bail, and then just ended up taking him through and pinned him in the first round.
I think that funk style is funky. The reason that he is so he's not afraid to
adapt to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, because if you take risks, if you're just doing pure wrestling and you're one of those styles where you take risks to put your back to the mat, that is a big thing. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when I traveled up there, is that guys would go for leg ride type stuff.
Yeah,
where it's very
scrambly
super
stuff.
Applicable to jiu-jitsu, like grappling, because if you can get a leg ride, that's like the back. You have captured the back, and if you scramble from your hip on the mat, man, that's jiu-jitsu too. Like if you can get yourself in a funky position where you create a scramble and get on top, man, it helps a lot. That must be why he's not afraid to jump into a triangle from the mount. Because he knows that worst case scenario, I'll just scramble back up.
Yes.
I'll just get in on a single.
And you know what that also tells me, though? Because a lot of wrestlers wouldn't do that. He trusts his coaches. Because he might have done that at practice here or there. But in my opinion, his coaches must have shown him those variations. Where he was in a mounted triangle and he sees, if this guy wants to turn over, I could just go with it. It'll make my lock super easy, cut my angle, finish my choke. And it takes trust in your... unless he has just literally submitted a ton of people I practice like that. To me, it's got to be trust in his coaching staff.
But I'm sure that move looked practiced. Let's not be
no doubt about it. What I'm saying is he didn't make it up himself on a fly. I'm sure that somebody showed him. They drilled it repeatedly, And that requires trust. So that's another thing that goes in that column of, wow, if this guy, because I've trained a lot of wrestlers, and there's a lot, man. I'm just going to say.
Nobody wants to go to their back.
They can tend to be hard-headed. They tend to like go, coach, I'm just going to double leg this guy and like try to punch him. And I'm like, you do realize it's not that simple to just get in a guy's guard and punch him. If he has a good guard, he might be punching you, elbowing your head. It's not that simple to ground and pound.
Well, and
like everybody thinks it is.
Yeah, that's true. But the more interesting thing to me is the fact that the stand-up, when all his fights, he like wins.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because
he's powerful with good. He's confident.
Well, but he throws flurries.
Yes.
He throws flurries and gets the guy moving backwards. Mm-hmm. And that is a recipe to win, because if the guy is throwing backwards, he can't really counter shot. Nobody has been able to figure out how to stop him cold in his tracks. They just get bowled over. Mm-hmm. And then he ends up, he's doing some kind of like wrestling footwork and pushing forward with punches. And the punches are so powerful, and the movement is so like relentless that the guys run out of room. Yeah. They find the cage. Yeah. They find the cage and he connects. Man, it's going to be it's nice to see the beginning of his career. It's really cool.
Yeah. After, and then just to finish everything for me on my end is that arm triangle choke. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
The arm triangle?
Yeah.
He took his time. I don't think he had the perfect skill in finishing, but I liked they're doing the new school choking from the mount. Yeah. They kind of dip off on the side.
It's
safe, because then you don't jump to the side control and then have a guy defend by turning his back to you, and they can kind of keep the mount and keep everything in the air. And I noticed, again, I'm going to say it again, trust in his coaching staff. They're teaching him good shit. He's following the plan. He's able to execute the plan so far. And if you're finishing everybody in the first round, I mean, what more can you
You're doing something right.
Yeah, you're doing something right. You get in a cage and you're fighting and it's over in the first round. There's nothing, I mean, that feeling is like, oh my God, I trained so hard for this and I never even had to feel that moment, that cardio moment of a 3rd round fight or a 5-round fight where you're exhausted. He hasn't been, but is that an X factor? Is he going to gas out someday?
I don't know. I don't know. The old thing that we used to say is like, the wrestler got 6 minutes in him.
Yeah.
So what happens in the 2nd round, 3rd round? A lot of in the old school, there were, guys come straight from wrestling and just come into NHB, what we called it back in the day, and a lot of guys would have tremendous first rounds, 2nd round, they would start to burn out because they're used to going a 6-minute round. You know what I mean, like. Or 2 minutes, right?
They tend to use a lot of strength,
and a lot of guys would not know how to pace themselves. But we're in a new era where everybody's training 5-minute rounds.
And this is a Penn State Bo Nickal.
That's what I mean.
That is like funky fluid, scrambly.
Yeah, so I can't imagine that he would not. Yeah, I can't imagine that his conditioning would not be up to snuff for 15 minutes. Yeah. I think this guy has. Yeah, he'll have championship rounds in him for sure. And when the time comes, I think that, I'm on the hype train, that's for sure. Yeah. But like I said, I'm a fan first, so I want to see the best matches that they are possible.
I'm almost convinced. Like, I'm not 100%. I'm obviously excited for him. I still think the last thing I'm going to end with this. I think we got to see how he deals with kicks, and can he throw some kicks?
Striker with some wrestling. A striker with some wrestling that can drag him out of the first round. If somebody can get Bo Nickal out the first round, I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. That'll be a good test, right?
Yep. So I think I'm pretty confident he's going to do well. If a fight is grappling based, I think he's going to do very well. He's going to have that wrestling base. His submission skills are already there. He hits pretty damn hard.
Pretty hard, yeah.
Yeah, he hits hard. He throws his body into it, and he was extremely accurate the other night on his feet. Man.
Sick. Yeah.
Bo Nickal,
let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
Let's fans.
See. We're fans. How could you not be a fan? All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this discussion between myself and Mayhem. If you guys enjoyed, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Tell us what you guys think. Is Bo Nickal, are you on the hype train?
Are you?
Yeah. Are you?
How are you not?
Yeah. Or do
Let's
you guys?
see.
Do you guys think that this thing's about to get derailed?
Oh my goodness, buddy! I want to see who the next opponent is.
Yeah.
Until
who's it gonna be? Are they gonna? And you know, I
Start
gotta
a
say
campaign.
this. You know what? I gotta say this.
I
hate hearing this from people. People say, "Oh man, they're feeding them cans.
Well,
they're feeding them cans," and I'm like,
now look, like I said, I didn't fully research this Val guy, but I felt like that he was definitely a handsome can, if you were going to call him a can.
yeah.
I don't know. That was a hard punch.
Nowadays, when you're fighting, guys, these guys are all pretty damn good. And guess what? In this fight game, anybody can get caught. And, you know, it bugs me so much because it's such a, you know, it puts down. You know how many times we were the underdog?
Yeah.
And people talk shit, and then sometimes you got to find out. Anyway. All right, guys, tell us what you guys think. Leave those comments, please. It helps us out. Share this video. And maybe in the future, man.
Thanks for having me on, pal.
You're going to have your own someday?
Well, look, I mean...
Are we going to work something?
Buddy, let's work something out.
Yeah.
Let's work something out. We're gonna do some big things right now.
Do you guys want to see more of this? Yeah. This is just this is like a test. Little taste.
Here's a little flavor.
If you guys like it, you have to let us know. And this video's got to get some views. All right? If you guys want more, let us know. And we'll be back next time with more great stuff.
God bless America.
Bam.